Okay, today's daf is Yoma Nun Hey. Interesting. Today we had Chassan. For those of you who follow my channel, we had Avi and Rivka's wedding on Sunday, and the Chassan came over to my in-laws' house where I live also. And every Chassan has their own, quirks or whatever. So this Chassan insists on calling sister-in-laws by their last name. For example, my wife called Mrs. Lang. In Yeshiva, they teach you to be afraid of women, so you'll get used to it. You'll catch on. Uh, all right, today we we have a sugya about the sprinkling of the blood of the par and the sawyer that was sprinkled in the Kodesh HaKodashim. There's two psukim. It says in the Torah. It says in Perek Tet Zayin in Vayikra. It says in Pasuk Yudalid, "V'lochach midam apar v'hiza be'etzbo al pnei hakaporas kedma v'livnei hakaporas yad zeh pa'amim min adam be'etzbo." He takes the blood and he sprinkles it on pnei hakaporas. Sounds like on top of the actual kaporas where the kruvim were, and then he does the lifnei hakaporas in front of it, presumably not on top of it. Next pasuk says, "V'shachad esir achad asher la'am v'yis damo al mibeis barokas v'asa es damo kasher saladam apar v'hiza also al kaporos v'nei kaporos." Again, it says al kaporos v'nei kaporos. Now, the first pasuk by the par in his blood, it says al pnei hakaporos kedma. It says the pnei. It's more mashma. It's actually talking about the blood actually going on top of the gold of the kaporos. So what does this mean exactly? So Rashi explains shumaz lamala. Achas lamala, he does the one lamala, misade gav yado lamata. It's talking about yado, misade yado lamata means not the palm of his hand, but the back of his hand. The back of his hand goes lamata like this. And when he sprinkles the other seven, then he goes like this, reversed, and he sprinkles it downwards. The problem with this is that the mashmos is not talking about the back of his hand. Mitzad yado lamata, the simple explanation is mitzad yado lamata is not like this, or the back of your hand is lamata, but rather yado is lamata. Your hand is facing down, and yado lamala is your hand is facing up. So why does Rashi switch it? Now the Gemara basically brings proofs that the blood never goes on top of the kaporis. And the Gemara explains this extra lashon al pnei hakaporos kedma. It says by the par why the extra word pnei and kedma zeban av kol makom shenamar pnei eno ela kadim. Anytime it says pnei, it means kadim. What does kadim mean? So Rashi learns based on the Gemara Menachos that kadim means to the east. The problem with this is that he's sprinkling actually towards the west. He's in the east, and the entrance to the Kodesh HaKodashim is in the east, and he's sprinkling towards the west. So, what's going on over here? That's the way Art Scroll learns. They say to the east over here. So what's going on over here? Third problem is the Gemara below on the bottom of the Ham and Aleph says, how do you know that when you go? We know from Yom Kippur davening say achas, achas v'achas, achas v'shtayim. Why do you always have to say the word achas with each of the ones lamata? Achas v'achas, achas v'shtayim. Why? So the Gemara brings two reasons. The second reason is Rabbi Yochanan Amar Krav l'fnei akbar as yazeh. Shein tamad lamar yazeh. Tamad lamar yazeh. Limin al azar rishon esricha minyan im kol achas v'achas. It says yazeh in the pasuk, which is talking about the par. It says yazeh sheva pa'amim. Why is the word yazeh? The problem is that we're learning yazeh is talking about, he includes the sprinkling going lamala. But this pasuk is talking about the sheva lamata. So where do we see, where's the mashmos from yazeh that is talking about you include the acha lamala with the sheva lamata? I want to suggest that basically this pasuk al pnei hakaporos kedma doesn't mean to the east. It means in front of you, meaning the two sprinklings of the blood. It says al and lifnei, al akaporis, al pnei akaporis, and lifnei akaporis. When you do it al akaporis, it's not going on top of the actual kaporis, but it is going in a certain sense on top of it because you're sprinkling it in front of you. You're sprinkling it in front of you. It has to go in front of you. That's why, and as opposed to the seven lamata, that can go directly downwards. The one that goes lamala has to go in front of you, and that's why it says in the top of the Gemara, "Kshu maza lamala mitzadid yado lamata." He faces his hand down because he's doing a sprinkling. He's facing it lamata like this, so you can do a sprinkling like this. That should go in front of him. It should go in front of him. If you just go like this, your hands like this, the way Rashi's learning, it could just go up, straight up in the air. But if you're going like this, so presumably it's going to be a sprinkling, yazeh, like a sprinkling, and it's going to go in front of him. And that's the difference in the pasuk between al and lifnei. The lifnei, the seven lamata, go straight down, and al, it doesn't go on top of the kaparos, but it has to go in front of you. It has to move in the direction towards the kaparos, and that's kadim. And that's why the Gemara learns out of yazeh. It learns that you repeat the achas, the first one with, because yazeh is a lashon of sprinkling. Sprinkling is going on, doing something. Sprinkling has to be in front of you. In front of you is sprinkling. Otherwise, it's called dropping down. Therefore, the Torah knew that yazeh is referring to the achas lamala, which is a sprinkling in front of you.